Hello and welcome to an Everyday Canines video. In this series we're looking at the Kennel Club Good Citizen Dog Scheme and we're looking at the puppy level. We're up to exercise 10 and in this exercise we're looking at a basic stay. This is a very simple puppy stay. We're only asking the dog to hold a position for 10 seconds. Even that can be challenging for some dogs, especially if they've got a little bit of a wiggle bum. And Magpie was certainly a dog that didn't stay in a position very well, so we've had to work quite hard on this. She can now do lengthy stays. So 10 seconds should be okay for us. Now, you can have your dog in any position of your choosing. It can be a sit, it can be a down. It's very unlikely you would choose to do a stand at this level, but you could. Things to bear in mind is that generally the dogs, if they're a bit nervous or underconfident, they're happier in a sit because a down is quite pressurized for a dog because they're lower than the other dogs around, they're more vulnerable. So if you've got a dog that's anxious, they might not like being in the down, they may be more prone to breaking, whereas if they're in a sit, because they're more in an attentive position, they're more confident with that. On the flip side, if you've got quite a generally relaxed dog, that they might prefer, if they're being in a stay for any length of time, to flop into a down. It's something you're going to work out. We're only talking 10 seconds here. I would usually do this as a sit, and then as I got to the higher levels and did progressive stays, then we'd look into doing more downs. But yeah, it's choose a position that your dog is going to be most comfortable in. And when you're setting them up, she's already set up nicely, so let me set her up so she's beside me. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see a bit better. So she's set up beside me. This is more formal than it needs to be, but basically they're starting at your side and you need to take a pace away from them, either forwards or to the side. So I can take it like this. Oh madam, I know I didn't tell you. So I could take it like this, but you can also take that. It's basically to the extent of your lead, because this is done on lead. So that's something to bear in mind. Your dog is not going to be off lead. That can give people a lot of confidence. They think, well, my dog is not off lead. If they're not going to, they can't break this and run over and molest another dog. Okay, so setting the dog up, we're going to cue them, and we're going to cue them with a stay, not a wait. The difference between a wait and a stay. A wait means hold that position till I ask you to come to me or do something. So I use a wait in agility, I use a wait in a formal recall. Stay means hold that position until I return to you. So I'm not going to call you out of the position, I'm going to return to you. So that's the important difference, because if you don't have that difference, then the dog can start to think that a stay is just a part of a recall and start to break. So it's just something to bear in mind. Okay, so we're going to just give them a Magpie, because she sat there a while. I'm just going to break her out and start again because she has sat there very good. Break. Good girl. Let's start again because you've been very good. Okay, so she's in a position. Sit. Nice. Now I'm going to ask her to stay. Stay. And I'm going to go a pace away. Extent of my lead. Now I've got to wait 10 seconds. Okay, and now I return to the dog. She's remained there. I return to the dog's side. She's still there and I reward her in position. Good girl. Good girl. Break. Yeah, you're so clever. I had the reward in my hand because I haven't got any, being naughty, I haven't got a treat pouch on me, but you probably had the reward in your treat pouch. So she didn't move out of the position. She held the position. She didn't change position, so she didn't flop into a down or go into a stand. She didn't do anything when I returned and stood by her side. She still kept the position until I released her, and that's what we want to see. So it is that foundation level for a more formal stay as you move on and progress. And even this level can be tricky for dogs. There's lots of little elements in a stay. I think that's what we forget. We think, oh, they just got to stay in one position, but actually there's lots of elements. There's first of all the position, setting them up. Then there's asking them to hold that position. Then there's the handler moving away. And then there's the time that the handler stays away, because some dogs think, why has mum gone quiet? She's gone very quiet. Maybe she wants me to do something. Because Magpie was a shaped puppy and you do tend to wait for them to do something for you, there was that little bit of an element of maybe she wants me to do something. We had quite an entertaining time where she would go, well, maybe she wants a down. So she'd go in a down. She doesn't want that. I'll go into a sit. Down, sit, down, sit, down. So, you know. So then that's the element of that duration. And then there's the element of when you return to the dog, because a lot of dogs, oh, she's returned to me, excellent, I can get out now, and that's when they move. So there's all those little elements that you've got to come together to do a lovely little stay. But once you nail them, it's lovely and you can progress them. And as I said, she makes it look easy, but it certainly wasn't easy at the start with her. And it took a lot of working on. I actually had to begin with her just beside me, just reward, 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 while she's holding a position, then little tiny movements, and then building up. So I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video. And if you have, you might subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon.